I think we officially got some awesome information, some leaked information, and just in general, some pure speculation when it comes to the 2 new cookies that could be coming to Cookie Run Kingdom as early as the next update. And just a quick spoiler warning, I will be talking about the storyline of the Legend of the Red Dragon. So if you're not interested in that, unfortunately, click off right now. Alrighty, so diving into the very first cookie that we can expect to see in this next coming update, and that is going to be none other than Tartatan Cookie. If you guys don't know who I'm talking about, this is going to be an image of Tartatan, and we are actually introduced to Tartatan Cookie via the new storyline, The Legend of the Red Dragon. As you progress through this brand new storyline, whether you haven't, gotten here yet, or maybe you have already seen this and you're working on dark mode, either way, Tartatan is introduced in the storyline as essentially a dragon hunter. We had Pattaya being added into the game. They added a brand new dragon rarity, into the overall game as well. And on top of that, now we have a dragon hunter. As we can see here, confirmed by the CRK news leaks over on Twitter. Again, take this with a grain of salt because they are technically leaks. Sometimes they're correct, sometimes they're not. But either way, they posted back on May 18th that Tartatan Cookie is actually a ranged unit placed in the back line and going to be a epic cookie, and they're already dialed in with an actual cookie and a number inside of the code. So one could assume that Tartatan Cookie is probably going to be coming to the game in the next update. I don't think that we would wait a couple of updates in order to introduce them. I honestly think that we probably could see Tartatan Cookie as the second when this next update does officially launch. Again, they are going to be a ranged cookie, which is really, really nice for pretty much every single player across the board, because every player currently right now is hurting on certain and specific skill powders. Well, we haven't had a ranged cookie in a very, very long time, so I think a lot of players would really, really enjoy this. And not to mention, dude, Tartatan's overall design and, aesthetics, mwah, I absolutely love it. I honestly think that Tartatan could be right up there for me as Red Velvet. Red Velvet being my favorite cookie overall. Tartatan, man, when it comes to the overall design, is right there alongside of them. So again, I was kind of speculating that Tartatan would be a bomber over a ranged or vice versa, just simply due to like the rockets that they shoot out, obviously when it comes to, blowing up dragons. But it definitely seems like, according to the leaks on Twitter, that they're going to be a ranged cookie, and I'm honestly happy with either direction. I've got a lot of skill powders saved up for both of them, and I think the majority of the player base do as well, because we haven't received those, classes in a long time. Now, diving into the second cookie that I think also will be dropping here in the next update, and that is going to be none other than Snapdragon Cookie. And if you guys don't know who Snapdragon Cookie is, well, we get a very first glimpse of the cookie via the very last story portion that we get of the normal run through the Legendary of the Red Dragon. Again, spoiler alert, but this is going to be the last bit of information or dialogue that we get from the storyline before jumping into the dark mode and getting some additional side stories. Either way, at the end here, as the dialogue progresses, you will eventually start to hear a cracking noise, and that cracking noise obviously being the egg that is in the Hall of Encounter in the center, and then that egg is then going to crack open. Obviously, I would assume that this cracking is due to the entire city in flames, and that heat obviously is, cooking that egg, or basically incubating that egg to essentially hatch. If you know anything about dragon eggs, they have to have flame, in order for them to hatch themselves. But either way, at the end of the day, we only get to see a snippet of Snapdragon Cookie. It's got a crack in the egg. We get to see the eyeball overall, and unfortunately, that's all we get to see as of now before the to be continued sign pops up. However, I will say I think we might have already seen a sneak peek of what Snapdragon Cookie looks like, or at least I would say everybody has the ability to see what they actually look like without even realizing it. And I honestly believe, I don't know if the developers even realize that they have done it. If you guys head over to the Cookie Run's official Discord channel, I'll put the link to this down below in the description. If you're not here, it's a really, really good source for all things Cookie Run, not just Cookie Run Kingdom. But if you go to the Cookie Run Kingdom, category, underneath that, you should have access to the Kingdom of Patch Notes. When you go over here and you scroll down, if we go to the very top screen, which is actually the starting screen of the game, if you click on this, there's actually something that's missing from our starting screen in the actual game when you play, and that is right underneath Hollyberry. This is probably Snapdragon Cookie, if I had to take a guess. Right off the bat, if we zoom in, you can obviously see the eyeball, right? You can see that the eyeball looks very, very resemblant of the eyeball in the cracking egg. That's one. And two, they left them completely out of the splash screen for when you start up the actual game. So that means obviously they weren't intentionally trying to reveal them, and it looks like that they might have accidentally done that via the patch notes on the Korean-based version. Now, I don't know about you, but I really think the design is really cute when it comes to Snapdragon Cookie. It looks just sort of like a small little baby, version of a dragon. We've got some small little wings. We've got a really cool, interesting design on the overall tail, and we also even have some tentacles as well going along with the entire face. So obviously, we don't know the entire backstory yet of Snapdragon Cookie, but speaking of leaks, we do have additional information provided again by the leakers over on Twitter, a little bit more about Snapdragon. So again, back on the same Twitter post here, they do mention the cookie and the cookie's ID, and they also mention here that Snapdragon apparently in the code is a special rank cookie, and they're placed in the middle line as a support unit. And additionally, if we look at the replies on this individual tweet, CRK News added a little bit more information. Not a whole lot, but they basically stated, Snapdragon Cookie is currently listed as a special within the data files. It is unknown what company this cookie is from. It could potentially be from a collaboration, but it says, however, it will be a limited cookie similar to the Hanbok costumes, which were special yet original. So essentially, all we know about Snapdragon Cookie is that it looks like in the game files, right, they're going to be a support cookie placed in the backline like other backline supports are, and they potentially are going to be a special rarity. They seem to be a special rarity currently in the game files. However, though, we do know that in the past, Dev Sisters have actually changed things, whether that's the cookie's rarity or their overall class in general prior to the official launch. Again, these are pure speculation and leaks based on whatever data is currently present as of right now in the game. It should be taken with a grain of salt, but it is fun to actually speculate on some of this information. Anyways, guys, that's it for me. Thank you very much for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe here on the channel for everything Cookie Run Kingdom related. Also, let me know down below in the comments what your guys' thoughts are on this entire speculation. Do you think Tartatan cookies coming next? Do you think both of the cookies are coming next? And what are your thoughts on Snapdragon potentially being a special cookie or not? And also, don't forget, guys, we do have the challenge live stream tomorrow night at 8 p.m. CST. Me and Hyrule Legend are going head-to-head. We're going to be live streaming for about 3 hours in total, starting a fresh account live with all of you guys, not re-rolling our accounts and not spending a single dime. We're going to be pushing these accounts as far as we can in 3 hours. Whichever content creator can make it the furthest obviously wins, gets some bragging rights, all that fun stuff. It's a fun competition. Throughout the entire thing, the 2 accounts that we're going to be playing on, we will be gifting those accounts away at the very end of the live stream, so you definitely don't want to miss out on that. And throughout the entire thing, we'll be doing some giveaways, and we're definitely going to be giving out at least 2 legendary passes. So again, you want to make sure you are tuning into that, to both live streams, not just mine, but also Hyrule Legends, to make sure that you can have a, double chance to get one or all of the individual rewards. But either way, guys, that's going to be it for me. Thank you very much for tuning in, and as always, I'll see you on the next one.